Hello, I'm Pastor Paul Gerritsen, an Air Force veteran. Recently, I talked with some healthcare provider friends of mine who deal with veterans racked with guilt over the fact that they've had to kill people, in a sense that they've broken God's law and they can't find forgiveness. They're not even sure if they can be saved. So the friends asked me, could you say something? Could you give us some words, some ideas that might help us to talk to them? That's what this is about. In Genesis chapter 4, we see the beginning of murder, of individual choice of one human being taking the life of another person. Clearly, God doesn't approve of it there. He codifies his disapproval of that in Exodus 20 in the Ten Commandments, and he explains what he means by murder in Exodus 21. An individual does not have the right to take it upon themselves to kill another individual. However, if you move to the New Testament, you discover in Romans 13 or 1 Peter chapter 2 that God has given authorities, rulers, governors, military, police, authority over a society, over a culture, primarily to restrain evil and promote good. They are God's agents for the restraint of evildoers. That's where the military or law enforcement comes in. When an individual is employed by, works for, and is operating under the authority that God has instituted through government, rather than individual choices, but as a government agent, and their job requires that they take a life, this is not a sin. As long as this is done under the government's authority to restrain evil, God has put this in place and it has his approval. He doesn't like death. In his image, he is a giver of life. And so we may wrestle with dreams and emotions and physical responses about the fact we have had to kill someone. But there is complete forgiveness available. We have not disobeyed God by acting under government's authority. And it doesn't impinge upon our ability to be forgiven by God or saved. Acting to kill an individual under God's authority through a government agency is not sin, and it is not disapproved of by God.